You know, in coaching, sometimes we actually provide some advice to other coaches. Well, I've got some advice for an assistant coach up in Minnesota that would like to be our next vice president. Next time a reporter asks you your reaction to 6 Israelis being executed, don't walk away from them because you're afraid you're going to piss off some voters and lose the state of Michigan. As a coach, what we would do is we would tell them we were horrified, we were disgusted, and we're going to go hunt down those terrorists, and we're going to hold the people that are responsible for them, like Hamas, responsible. Governor Walz, you had an opportunity to do that, and you passed. And like many people here in this room, I'm concerned if you're vice president, you will do it again and you will not stand with Israel. I'm concerned about that. Boker Tov, everybody. Boker Tov, RJC. Thank you, Matt Brooks. Thank you, Norm Coleman. Thank you for the leadership for asking me to be here. I am not a politician. I'm not a reporter. I'm not in the media. I'm just a Jewish basketball coach from Auburn, Alabama. We live in the greatest country in the world when a Jewish basketball coach can be a basketball coach in Auburn, Alabama. Anybody can be anything. There are roadblocks and there are obstacles, but I am so incredibly grateful. I'd like to deliver my message to the young people this morning. The young people that are on these college campuses right now, scared, afraid of their identity, incapable of being able to defend Israel right now at this most challenging time. I'd like to speak to you. Look, war is hell. The death and the killing on both sides is horrific. Understand that. But here are some truths and here are some realities. We cannot worry about the people that hate us. They've hated us for a long time. They're going to continue to hate us. We must defend ourselves from those that want to kill us and speak that way. That's the bottom line. But there are some that don't know, there's some that don't understand, and particularly for all of us, as I listen to Mark talk about that the time is now for us to particularly be able to speak into the undecided, the uninformed, and American Jewry. We've got a decision to make, a very, very important decision. So young people, here's your defense. Ask somebody that doesn't really know a couple questions. How many Jews and how many Arabs are there in the state of Israel right now? And the answer, about 6 million Jews and about 3 million Arabs. Ask them if they realize that over 50% of the healthcare workers in the state of Israel are Arab, not Jewish. Now that breaks down a few stereotypes, doesn't it, about the Jewish doctors in the room, right? Over 50%, ask them if they understand that. There are Arab leaders in government, in business, in the judicial system, in the IDF that give their lives to be able to protect their country, the state of Israel right now. And these Israeli Arabs are living some of the best lives of Arabs anywhere around the world, and they do not want to leave. Don't tell me about apartheid. I don't want to hear it. When 12 Muslim Arab children were murdered on the playground playing soccer, it took that for the Israeli government to go to Hezbollah and knock off their leader and take out the guy that was responsible for it. I don't want to hear about apartheid. Those were Israeli children that were murdered and were killed. It didn't matter what their faith was. And we demonstrated that. Let's talk about genocide. Okay? Ask them, somebody that's undecided, about how many Jews were in Israel in 1948 when she was born. The answer is about 700,000. And then ask them about how many Arabs were living in the same area. And the answer is about 160,000, about 20%. Today, there are 6 million Jews, there are 3 million Arabs. I don't want to hear about genocide. It's just not true. The math does not add up. How many Jews are there in Lebanon? How many Jews are there in Syria? How many Jews are there in Gaza? How many Jews in Libya or Iran anymore or Iraq? And the answer is either none or not many, because what? They'd be dead. That's genocide. That is genocide. Not in Israel. I want to talk to you about Judea and Samaria for a second. It's pretty near and dear to my heart. I'm going to ask you a favor, RJC. For those of you that are still calling that area of the West Bank, I'm going to ask you to stop. I'm going to ask you to call it by its biblical name, Judea and Samaria. About 80% of our Bible was right there in Judea and Samaria. In Genesis 23, Abraham says, "Sell me some property for a burial site here so I can bury my dead." He paid 400 shekels of silver for the cave of the patriarchs. By the way, he overpaid, and Jews don't like to overpay. He overpaid so that nobody would dispute the fact that he owned that land. That was the beginning of the permanent occupation of the land of Canaan for God's chosen people. And of course, Jacob asked Joshua to take it. It was Genesis 47. "Please take me to the land where my father's buried." And he made Joshua swear that he would, and Joshua swore that he would. Are you willing to swear that you will protect the cave of the patriarchs where Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Leah, Rachel are all buried? Do you swear to it? I swear to it. Real quickly, can we talk about two states for a second? If there was a Palestinian state, the capital of Palestine would be East Jerusalem. In East Jerusalem is the Wailing Wall. In East Jerusalem is the city of David. How many Jews would be able to live there, pray there, visit there? The answer would be none. This is not an option. The Garden of Gethsemane, where Christians are able to go all the time and walk where Jesus walked, would be off limits. Look, this is not an option, okay? We tried two states. In 2005, the United States government pressured Israel and Ariel Sharon to give up land for peace. How did that work out? They created a Palestinian state in Gaza, and rather than creating another sort of Tel Aviv, they created a launching pad for terror and for hate. It didn't work then, it won't work now. The United States got to stop talking about two-state solutions every time they said Israel's got a right to defend itself. Stop it. And right now, Israel is under pressure. Right now, Israel is under pressure, to be able to have a permanent ceasefire, which means Hamas gets to live. Mark talked about it. The time is right now. There is an opportunity to be able to stand up and be able to actually win this war, to defeat Hamas, to create a situation where new Palestinian leadership. There are Arabs. The Abraham Accords demonstrated this. There are Arabs that love their children more than they hate the Jews. They've demonstrated that through the Abraham Accords. We need to defeat Hamas. We need to set up a situation where other Palestinian leadership can emerge through saying, look, when we defeated Germany and we defeated Japan, did we leave? We're still there right now. And both of those countries are better off from our presence. That's the only way that we have an opportunity to be able to move forward. Two more things are telling me I got to get off the stage. President Trump is waiting. President Trump, just wait a few more minutes, okay? My career is at stake here. This is not helping me a very popular basketball coach, okay? Two more things. Being a basketball coach in the South, I worked in the evangelical Christian community. Thank God for our evangelical Christian friends. Hug them, love them, they stand with Israel. And just so you know who the two most popular Jews in Auburn, Alabama are? Me and Jesus. I also work in the African American community, and I've been blessed to be able to coach and teach, and I've been blessed to be able to be trusted by African American moms and families with their sons. I hold them accountable, we discipline them, we do unbelievable things together. I'm grateful for that. I'm proud of our country for having a President, Barack Obama. I did vote for him twice, and I'm proud of our country for having a woman of color being a candidate for President of the United States. I'm proud of that. However, based on her policies, based on the things that she has said, the things that she has done, I was in the chamber when Bibi Netanyahu delivered that speech. She chose not to. I wish she felt different about Israel, but her actions and her words say that she doesn't. I care about a lot of issues in this country. I don't agree with hardly any of her policies, but the one thing I'm worried about is that she will not stand with Israel. And I tell you who will stand with Israel. Donald J. Trump will stand with Israel. And I am going to vote for Donald J. Trump as the 47th President of the United States of America. I'm Yisrael Chai, and God bless America.
Please welcome Dr.